2020 has certainly been an unusual year. When COVID hit Ireland back in the early part of the year, it affected all of us in so many different ways. Lockdown came into force in March, and many towns in Ireland became like ghost towns. We visited one town and spoke to some residents there to find out how COVID has affected them, their lives and their businesses. Now having to work from home, Greg Cooper has also had to tackle homeschooling.
Life was good. I was working 9 to 5, my wife was working, kids were in school, there was structure and routine in the house, so everything was good.
Then lockdown came along.
First 2 weeks, as I said, was fine, it was enjoyable. I was working from home remotely myself, so I was enjoying the 2 weeks, getting to spend time with the kids. They were off, it was fun and games. He's quieting down!
And life for Greg got harder when he realised just how much was involved in homeschooling.
And if you can imagine, I had 3 kids with 3 different amounts of work. I had to take photos of everything. My wife didn't know how to do it at the time either, so I had to do it all with myself. And I'm just remembering they were asked to do all sorts, like bake a cake, build a boat that floats, stuff like that. I'm thinking, if my kids were in school, would they be baking cakes? Because I never remember my son coming home and saying, "Dad, I baked a cake in school." It just didn't happen.
Would you say you have an admiration for all hard work that teachers do?
Certainly not. I actually resented them at the time when they were off, out doing their runs. I was looking at them. I never seen so many teachers out running around the town. Now, when their kids are back at school, I have so much gratitude towards them. I just hope to keep them in school. Will that happen? Please God, it does.
Someone else who's been spending more time at home is Jack.
This time last year I was managing a busy hotel, busy bars, accommodation busy, Christmas parties, lunches. Time just flew by. I didn't realise how happy I was. Then 3 weeks ago I was made redundant early. Wasn't prepared for redundancy. I don't think I'm coping with it that well. My wife gets up in the morning and goes to work, and I just lie there in bed and stare at the ceiling, wondering what I'm going to do for today. Sometimes I just close my eyes and then random thoughts come in. And then when I open my eyes, I find that only 15 minutes has elapsed. And I thought an hour had gone by. Time just goes by so slowly. Sometimes I have dark days and dark thoughts.
With suicide rates in men high, this is certainly worrying. And it seems it's not just the fact he's lost his job that's a problem for Jack.
Oh, hello darling, how are you? Very good. Are you busy? Ah, excellent. Yeah, I'm down to the hotel. Yeah, I had to go into the hotel today. We a lot of soft drinks that have expired. We have to shift out. Yeah. So what time will you be home at? Oh, good. Yeah, I'll be home before you, so. Okay. I'll see you then. Okay. Bye, darling. Bye. Bye.
So, Jack, does your wife not know?
No, I haven't told my wife I'm redundant yet. She's so kind and loving and supportive. I just couldn't bring myself to tell her.
Award-winning chef Jeffrey is also finding things difficult.
We opened the doors of the Irish Peasant Cafe over 5 years ago. Since then, we've hosted over 2,000 customers a month, and we have won multiple awards such as the 2020 Good Cafe Award and the Gold Medal Award. And it was my dream to have my own cafe, to have my own, basically to give my own part to community.
And where do you source your food?
We only ever get food from the local farmers. Everything from vegetables the whole way up to beef. We had some very, very good working relations with them.
What happened once lockdown came in?
All things went downhill.
How have you managed to survive financially?
We lost some partnerships with the local farmers. We've had to find alternative ways of getting not as best quality meat.
What do you mean?
Due to the current problems, I'm struggling to eat just to pay my staff. I've had to let people go. I've had to find alternative ways of just surviving.
And while some people like Jack and Jeffrey suffer, other people, like Undertaker David Galloway, find themselves overwhelmed with work.
Well, what can I tell you? Business was particularly good as usual. My daily routine was always one of driving my hearse from one passing to the next before COVID came along. Now, I nearly cannot keep up, as business is bursting through the gates of both heaven and hell. Excuse the pun.
Don't you feel guilty about making money from people's grief?
The dead keep coming. It's a never-ending business, you know. The deceased. They are a very unapologetic bunch, wouldn't you agree? It is a very lucrative profession financially, one that is never-ending. It is like a hole in the ground that one falls into, but you never hit the bottom. Drawbacks to COVID as regards to rules and regulations, cleanliness and social distancing, with the positives far outweigh the negatives, if I'm being honest. I've never been so busy. I have had to hire more personnel in helping to keep up with the never-ending factory of the deceased.
Someone who's found the added cleanliness rules very hard is OCD sufferer Seamus Moriarty. Hello, Seamus.
You go back there 2 meters there. Social distance. Since lockdown and COVID, my life has changed. As I do suffer from OCD, I do normally keep things tidy. Now everything is in a mess.
Seamus has decided to sanitise everything that comes into his house. Seamus, do you really need to be washing all your shopping? I see you're washing your bread there.
No, not really. Don't have to clean all my shopping. But since COVID started, I started to clean all my shopping because you don't know who has been touching it before you. Or lockdown, I always let people into the house, but now I don't let people into the house unless they get a vaccine. I struggle doing my online game because I'm afraid to get germs on the laptop. The quicker this virus is over, the better for me and for everyone.
Another person to find herself alone during lockdown is Maya. What did you have planned for 2020?
Well, I was planning on going to a wedding. My wedding. I had picked out the dress, the venue. We even had decided on the napkins, albeit after a month of deliberation. Now, the invitations had gone out. I received my RSVPs back. And, well, my mum was in one of them.
Her mother did not approve of her choice of partner.
I mean, on one hand, my mom, man, she worked her ass off to give me the life I'm enjoying today. You know, I sent that invite knowing damn well she didn't approve. Getting that invite sure would have felt like a slap to her face. In fact, I bet this is how it read. Thanks, Mama, for single-handedly raising me up. Thanks for giving me your unconditional love. Thanks for sharing your food to me when there wasn't enough for two. But I found someone. He loves me. So your work here is done now. Love, you ungrateful child. I made Cinnabons today. I used to love making them with my mom. Just because for some reason it was the only time she let me lick the spoon.
Do you blame your mother?
I miss her. I miss her bad. She sacrificed so much for me, and this is how I repay her. It just hurts to know I'm the reason for the tears in her eyes. And then there's Jesse. He makes me so happy. He doesn't need to crack a joke, make me dinner, take me out, buy me gifts, really. I'm just content when I'm with him. You know that tune? Everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Well, that's how he makes me feel. I've only been with one man. I've only loved one man. I just know there is no other for me. I'm so torn.
So what is Christmas going to be like this year for our families?
I like to be alone at Christmas. It is time one must prepare for each funeral ceremony with incredible detail, as a lot of people pass away at this time of year. To me, winter signifies death, so one must be ready for the rush of people coming through the door.
Now it's just getting worse, because not only am I redundant, but I've been lying to her for 3 weeks. Before this lockdown ends, I'll have to figure out some way to tell her before somebody else does.
We're getting ready for Christmas, and I'm hoping, I suppose, that, Christmas is going to be a nice, quiet one. I'm grateful. 4 healthy kids, still have my job, wife's still working, so we're blessed in that sense. Like, let's just put 2020 behind us. It was a complete joke, a mess, and let's just look towards 2021.
And with those wise words from Greg, wish you all a happy 2021.